my god, the eavesdropping is like my favorite because you learn so much horrible shit about everybody.
It's just, I just like how fucking, like, we went from having, like, secret passageways and, like, peeping on people that way.
Just standing by.
Hi, what are y'all listening about, or talking about? I'm not listening at all. That's what Laura Bell sounds like when she looks like that.
I know. Alright.
Tell me about Egyptology!
Stop making me laugh.
No! I'm Laura Bell. Do you know my daddy?
I have to do the intro.
No, we don't need an intro. No, I'm Laura Bell. Let's go chase a daisy. That's Dr. Fuckface to you.
You sound like yeah.
Dr. Oxo.
Dr.
I do cocaine. I do cocaine.
Alright.
I do cocaine.
Shut up about your cocaine.
Okay.
And here we are at part 7 of the Dagger of Amon.
Yeah.
Part 6 got fairly interesting, at least in my opinion. Hopefully we can keep that up with some more eavesdropping!
Some more... It doesn't count as eavesdropping when you're 2 feet away, and...
Well, yes.
Laura Bow really lost some skills in the eavesdropping department.
Well, you can't always have secret passages. Alright, let's get this party started.
Alright. Oh, and the Countess all of a sudden is right there.
Yeah, as you listen to various conversations, people will kind of change up.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to go head off to the left now, because there's more eavesdropping to be done over there.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh. Can you imagine what the topic of their conversation will be?
Egyptology?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's what Yvette's all about.
Did you two learn anything about Egyptology while I was gone? Tell me about it.
Ryan, I'm having the hardest of times keeping my hands
He
off
looks a lot better here.
Not
Yeah.
you, Yvette. There's too many people.
They are not important.
So basically we've learned that Yvette sleeps with everybody. Even you.
What about that Carrington guy?
It's
He's
happening
president
right
of this
now.
museum.
The doctor, he is old and weak. You are a young one and strong.
And a big
And what would you be wanting, Miss Bow?
Oh, well.
You're fucking terrible at this.
Must have been hair and things. I didn't even mention your name.
Oh, sorry. I've got to be going now. Excuse me.
I'm the worst at this. Oh, it's a little awkward. Oh.
Oh no, we're gonna keep this up. It's fine.
Oh, God.
And what were you doing when that fancy
What
dagger
is
was
he
being stolen
doing?
then?
His mustache.
Is he getting ready to sing an aria?
Probably.
You don't sound too sure about that.
I haven't been sleeping too well since I arrived in this country. I'm
Check out my
tired,
bling.
so I'm not thinking too
It's an
well.
unk.
I know, but it seems
You're not
like it's
sleeping
so...
well.
It
Would you be
comes
having a
so
guilty
in your
conscience
face
then?
hanging out there.
Well, yeah. Where else? If you have an unk, you want people to know.
Yeah, well,
Perhaps it is the
I
mood.
can't
It is
crap
such
on that too much
exterior
because
language.
I was super into Egyptology when I was in grade 7.
Do you have an unk?
You
Yeah,
said
shut
that.
Oh, that's
Get
great!
up and I
If I
worked
were
to
in your
school.
position,
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Oh, that's
You, which is
fantastic.
already
I also
been
liked
stolen,
Egyptology,
the
but
Dagger of Amon
I didn't wear an
belongs
unk
to the
anywhere.
Egyptian
I had a
king.
shred of
Clearly,
self-respect.
You weren't cool.
Not to this
Only the
museum,
cool kids wore
not
unks
this
to school.
country.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
what
not
was
even
your
comment
saying,
on that
Dr.
one.
Smith? You're digging your hole deeper with every word.
I had to be watching what you were
Amon
saying
Ra's
because
secret
Laura Bull is
invention of
pretending that we can't hear her. She's right there, it's really weird. Like she's literally
You
standing
said you
right
were
next to me.
sleeping when it was stolen. Were you alone?
That, sir, is none of your business.
His
Well,
mouth
that's where you're wrong,
moved
Dr.
so
Smith.
weirdly.
It's his
Yeah.
That was a
business, as
difficult
long as you're a
sentence to get
suspect
out.
in the burglary.
A suspect? Do you Americans have no shame? I'm
No.
here to gain a return on the dagger by legal means. Ask Dr. Carrington.
I have talked to Dr. Carrington, and I know he told you no
He
dice.
said you were a total douchebag.
The matter is not settled until the last camel drinks from the water of the oasis.
I'm
What's
Egyptian.
that?
Did you
Some
not know
kind of
that?
Egyptian double talk?
Shall I flash my ankh in your face
But I see
again?
it
I don't understand the metaphors. We don't have them in Ireland, Scotland,
You were gonna say Irishland, weren't you?
Ireland.
Oh,
Oh, God damn it! More people.
yep, but we were gonna head somewhere else.
Different. There's just different config. What are those two? Are they dancing on the left?
That's a good question. They're probably doing a trust fall, but they don't know how to do it properly.
I know. One of us has to turn around. I'm pretty sure.
No, I've done this before. It's fine.
No, I'm pretty sure we have it backwards.
Like, come on, let's get the sweet spot again. There we
If you
go.
want to know my theory about it, I think it was stolen by an Egyptian. No offense to your people, Mr. Nagier.
Ramsey seems like he's doing Vogue, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or he's just a store mannequin.
Here to steal the dagger.
A little awkwardly posed.
Countess, I hardly think that's likely. Secret sex like you're describing haven't existed in hundreds of years.
Secret sex.
Ah!
Really? And what makes you such an authority on secret sex, Mr. Nagier?
I have a lot of
Well,
secret
I
sex.
am only expressing my opinion, madam. I'm
Is that-
certainly not
I
an
feel like it was
expert
all
on the
intentional,
subject.
yes.
Yeah.
Quite so. I think my
Why can't
theory
we
is as
face
good
each other
as
while we're
anyone's,
talking?
darling. And I
But
heard it
they
from a
only gave us
reliable
one pose.
source.
Oh? Who was that?
Never mind. Let's just say my source has never been wrong before.
You read
There's
horoscopes.
always a first time for everything, Countess.
Is
I
Laura
still
Bow
find
gonna
your
mention
theory
the dagger
far-fetched.
in the
Since you seem to be listening,
the,
Miss Bow,
gift shop
what
at
do
all?
you think
Oh,
of my
probably not.
theory?
No,
No.
she's not gonna connect
What?
the dots.
Nah.
I definitely think it's worth considering, Countess.
Are you mimicking his lisp?
That's not nice.
You are rude, Laura. Have some decorum.
Great job,
Of
Laura.
course it is.
At least
kinda
take your hand down from your
far-fetched.
ear once you're discovered.
Nah, I'm not eavesdropping.
Excuse
I
me.
just got an itch.
Just
Did I
can
say
you?
something
Do you
wrong?
know if you hold your
I'm
hand up to
sorry.
your ear like this, you can hear the ocean? No, trust me, it's a New Orleans trick.
So that's the deal, Countess?
Ooh.
I'd rather not talk about it right now.
Yeah, no kidding. DeWall's got ears
Why is your
around
hand
here.
on Ziggy's
And
crotch?
so does certain nosy reporters, if
It
you
was
know what
just
I mean.
an accident.
No, it's not. This
Yes.
happened twice.
Now, if you'll
Maybe you're
excuse
just
me, I
obsessed
think we
with
must
where
speak
my
about the
hand
dagger.
is on.
Sure thing, Toots.
Oh God.
Oh, the Egyptians, but we're gonna leave.
Oh.
I don't know where, clearly.
I'm just gonna think about what I just learned.
Take a puff.
Oh,
Can I go?
yes, I'll just kind of shuffle around.
Just.
Oh,
Oh, there I go.
oh.
So, let's talk to Ziggy and
Oh.
Brett.
I'm sure this won't get awkward.
Oh, of course not.
Well, ain't you the hoity-toity dame these days? I almost didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
Excusez-moi, am I knowing you, sir?
Oh, you
Ziggy's my
bet. You are a
moniker.
champ.
You gonna pretend you doesn't know me?
Ah, you are making the joke with me, no? Perhaps you have confused me with someone else?
I ain't joking. You're a
I love her blank stare.
It's great for this scene in particular.
Hmm.
I am sure I am not knowing what you mean, Monsieur Ziggy.
Oh, I get it. You's is worried one of these hi-hats is gonna hear us, right? Oh, okay. I'm clued in. We can talk later.
You are such a dope, Ziggy. What do you mean you don't want to talk about your former prostitution?
Yeah, what?
At a party!
Come on, it's a good party topic.
This food, it is
Why did
adequate.
her lips just suddenly
I do not
change
eat so
color?
much. This way I maintain
Is she
my
just
figure,
taking off
no?
lipstick and putting it on?
Ah,
It's-
yes. And a lovely figure it is, Miss Delacroix.
Merci, Dr. Carrington.
So I heard.
You are so
Do you
kind.
like boning on the dinosaurs? Because I've heard a few things, and I'm curious.
As you wish.
Well, they already boned on
All
a
right.
dinosaur, though.
I lost track.
Been there, done
I
that.
lost track of who had sex with her and where.
Is there something I can do for you?
Oh no, I was just
It's never not
admiring
funny.
Miss Delacroix's dress.
Merci, Miss Bo.
She
And your
is
gown,
just
it is a bit
awful.
out of date, but charming nonetheless.
Aw,
Thank
that
you.
was actually a fairly
I
nice
think.
way of putting that.
Thank you. I promise I won't tell anybody about your prostitution.
Or the fact that you two are clearly sleeping together
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, well, look what the leprechaun's dragged in.
You're not even gonna face
Hey,
him?
watch what you calls me,
Just
O'Reilly.
flip him.
I don't know what that
Like,
leprechaun
you don't
thing
even have
is,
to
but I
redraw
don't
him.
like
Just
the
flip
sound
him
of
the
it.
other way.
I'm sure you've
Well,
been
but
called
his
worse
eye's
things,
different.
smart guy.
Only
No
by
one would
low-class
care.
type
Why don't you
poisons,
just move
O'Reilly.
Ryan over
By
to
the
the
way,
right
Yeah.
and Zeke to the
Be
left?
seen with me?
But maybe that's the point. Maybe they don't want to
Cops
look
talk
at each
to
other.
stoolies all the time, and I was wondering what you're doing here.
That hand, though, is
I'm
awful
a
close
big
to
patron
Ziggy's
of
butt
the
there.
arts. That's the kind of
You're not the one to
high-class
talk
guy
about
I
hand
am.
conditioning.
You don't even know what the word patron means.
It does too.
Laura, do
Okay,
you know what
what
patron
patron
means? Since you're
I
standing.
was just...
Hey,
I
is
was
that the Countess I
just...
see over there?
I was
I need to
eavesdropping.
talk to her.
You caught me again for the 5th time. Now they're all facing Laura.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna get fooled again. Well, I'll go somewhere else to eavesdrop.
If only I could, like, hide behind a secret passageway. This maybe, oh, I'm terrible at this.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Oh, if only. Wait a minute, I just need to find a painting, and then I'll cut 2 eye holes out, and then I'll use that instead. And she just holds it up while she, like, looks behind them.
You've destroyed a priceless artifact.
Oh, how did you know I was here?
Well, that is the proper way, as our culture teacheth us.
Which is not to say our culture is primitive by any means. Our civilization has evolved
asking
over
for
thousands
sex
of years.
lessons.
Our methods are quite well thought out and practical.
And the Egyptian
Really?
man. He is very skilled in the private matters as well, no?
Yeah.
Well, speaking for myself, I feel it is my sacred duty to be knowledgeable in all matters that concern me.
I've certainly had no complaints about my skills, Mrs. Dillon.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Miss Bo, I didn't
Yep, we're
see
doing
you
this.
standing there.
So-
Well, I hear another turkey.
when I said
calling
your
my
vet
name at the buffet table.
Was pretty much down to bone anyone. It's not
The turkey
exaggerating.
leg. It sounds good to me also.
But, like,
I
they were
like
trying to,
company,
like, get
Dr.
tips
Smith.
on how to sex better?
I guess that was the only thing I could get from that conversation.
I guess, I mean, kudos to them to wanting to, like, be better lovers, but that's just sort of, like, the most awkward conversation to hold in a public place where...
Well, no more awkward than, hey, I banged that lady on a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
At least that one's sort of tangentially related to a museum.
it's...
Oh!
Oh,
Mr. Dorian?
Oh!
This is actually kind of cute.
Aw.
Oh dear, your shoes. They aren't exactly formal.
Crush over.
Well, I can explain that.
Oh no, that's
But not
actually
right
quite
now.
sweet. Of all the
I
things
see.
that the
Well,
game does,
What brings you here?
this relationship is actually pretty
Yeah.
adorable.
Aw. Aw.
Me?
You told me you'd be here tonight, and, well, I thought we should talk.
Oh, about what?
Listen, everybody's been telling me how creepy you are.
Could we
I'm just gonna let
step
you know
outside
I'm
for a
not
minute?
interested,
The
but
moonlight
thank you
is
for your
really nice
interest.
Well,
Here's the formal rejection
all
letter. I
right.
filled out all the
I think
paperwork.
I'd enjoy that.
I got confused for a minute because I thought he was Detective O'Reilly because they both have the same hair color,
They
and it's
do.
not like their sprites are that. Laura, no! We were on a case!
No, there's always time for love.
No, Laura!
Always.
No!
Dear Crowdfather.
Today I met the love of
I
my
just
life.
wanted to
Holy shit,
explain
this
to
is
you
picturesque.
who I really am.
You're not Steve Dorian?
Well, yes, I am Steve Dorian, but I felt like I didn't give you the most accurate impression of myself when I met you earlier today.
Oh, it's so cute.
Gee willikers, I'm just not used to meeting attractive young ladies on
Gee
the dock.
willikers. Oh, I'm so gosh darn Boy Scoutish.
I'm a professional journalist working on a story.
That means I can't date
Well,
anyone.
yes,
It's
of
like
course you
being
are.
a monk.
I didn't want to imply anything. In fact, I was very impressed with your professionalism. And with your smile.
Egyptology!
I think I'm a common stevedore.
Well, I'll admit I was wondering what a stevedore was doing at this ritzy museum fundraiser.
I was also wondering what a
stevedore job
crackhead
pays
was
the
doing
bill.
there. But, you
I'm
know.
aiming for a career as an artist. However,
Oh,
I'm really
yeah.
here because I'd hate myself for the rest of my life if I didn't try to see you again. Maybe I'm
Aww.
a fool. Maybe you think we're too different. But
Can I
had
paint
to
you
try.
naked?
Well,
Don't ruin
I'm
this.
flattered. Are you always this nervous?
I'm not very good with women. I spent all my time working ever since I was 10 years old, when my father
I'm so
died.
buff that the last
Never
3
had a
women
chance
I
to
went out
date
with, I
very much.
snapped at
Lately, I
rocks
spent
when I
my
gave
free
them a
time
bear
going
hug.
to school.
I'm starting to think we're more alike than I first thought. My mother died when I was very young, so I was
Ah.
raised by my father.
Way to bring the
What
mood
kind of
down,
artist are you?
boner killer.
Hey, she doesn't have her list of topics.
And I do a little sculpting.
Do you know anything
How
about
interesting.
Egyptology?
But I think
Should
that
I
an
leave
artist
it for
would know
kiss?
enough not to wear work boots with his tuxedo at a formal party.
Oh, I said I'd explain that, didn't I? I was hoping nobody would notice. I had to blow 2 weeks' pay to rent this tux. But I didn't have enough left over to rent the fancy shoes. It's just that I had to see you again.
I know, they're just so cute.
It's like
all your
half
money
cute, half also a
just to
little
see
weird.
Well, it's a little creepy.
Oh, goodness. I don't know what to say.
You're handsome, so
Say
I
you'll have
guess
dinner
this
with me
makes it
some
all
evening.
okay.
I may
This
seem
was
a little
Ziggy,
odd,
though.
but I promise that I'm
ah.
harmless. I'd be honored to spend an evening with you.
I promise that I'm
in
harmless.
town.
I promise I'm not an
Well, I
axe
don't
killer.
know.
Take my word for it, I'm
Found a lot of
handsome.
trouble to find
My
you.
last girlfriends
I
did
think
not
I can
disappear under
trust
mysterious
you.
circumstances.
Really? You'll do it? Oh, thank you. You won't regret it. I'll make it a memorable evening. I'll paint for you. I'll dance for you. I'll sing for you. Anything you want.
Well, there's
Do
no
you
need
want
to
me
get
to kill
carried
myself?
away.
I'll do that.
Let's see how
Just say the
dinner
word.
goes first.
I'm a little desperate.
Of course. You're absolutely right. I don't seem too anxious, do I?
Maybe just a
You're
bit,
so cute,
but that's
Steve.
okay.
Okay. I'll take a deep breath and calm down. I'll be fine. I'll do whatever you want.
I think this is the beginning
You're
of
coming
something
across a
new.
little desperate
a
there,
little.
Steve.
I like you already.
You'll do anything I say? Oh my goodness.
Oh, now I'm a hussy.
Oh god, oh no, I'm pregnant now. Oh, this is just what Dad warned me about. I should have known better. Oh, my career is over. I'm so sorry, Daddy.
The vet has to take Laura aside
Like,
and
yeah.
explain exactly how sex
It's
works.
like, no, honey, no. Let me explain this to you.
Oh, damn.
I'm just gonna walk over your feet. Oh, Steve, that was mean. In your work boots. Oh, okay. Sweet, I got a date. Now to peace out. Doop, doop, doop.
Well, he got what he came here for.
But he rented the suit. He said he spent 2 weeks pay on the suit, and now he's like, yep, I'm good.
Who says he left?
Oh.
Countess, they tell me you were married to the last museum president, no?
Yes, darling, that's correct.
I like
Sterling
Miklos a
Waldman
lot. I
Carlton
don't know
was
why. I
such
just
a
think she's kind of
charming
fun.
man, and so wealthy. My heart is just an empty void without him.
Yes, Sterling was such a nice man. It's too bad that he's worm food now.
Oh, I prefer to think that Sterling is still with me in spirit.
Oh, I'm sure his body is crawling with maggots by now.
What a dick!
But his spirit is with you.
I mean,
Let
it's
me
like
know,
suggested
because I'd
that
love
like
to see
the
it.
Countess, I think, married
It is
Sterling
out to use a
for
loved
his
one, no?
position and
I
money, but
understand
like,
And he
you only
died
married a short
mysteriously.
time,
but
Countess.
like, still, it's like, oh, your loved one?
Yes,
Yeah, they're
I had
so
only
rotting
2
corpse by
short
now.
but
Trust me,
charming
I'm
months
an
of
expert.
married life with Sterling.
In fact, I have
before he
pictures. I dug up
died.
their corpse so that
And how
I could
long
see
had
the
you known
rot.
this man before you were married?
Oh, we met just 1 charming month before we decided to get married. It was love at first sight.
And Norbo's like,
Where
oh,
did
so I
you
should
meet
marry
him?
Steve now that we've kissed
Oh,
the
I'd
one
only
time.
been in this
Well, we're
country
pretty much married already.
I
met
guess.
Sterling on an
Oh.
offshore
I
casino ship.
gotta make an innocent,
Quite legal
honest
to
woman
drink
out
and
of me.
gamble there, you know, and all the right people attend.
So I'm pretty sure that the implication here is that the Countess is a Black Widow.
Yeah.
This Sterling, he must have had the large broom.
It's
What?
just a manner of speech, my dear.
Sterling was a wealthy man.
It was a
You
joke.
must
She
have
said he
inherited
swept
a
me off
nice
his feet.
fortune, Countess.
With a large... Oh wait, so was it like,
Money
you're
doesn't
fat,
matter,
so he
darling.
needed a large broom to
Actually,
sweep you off your feet? Or was she just like,
Problem
penis?
with the estate
I'm
right
not
now.
entirely sure on that one.
Sterling was changing his will when he
It might have
died.
been that she
To give
didn't
me more
understand
money, perhaps.
the metaphor.
The French.
I'm sure
The
my attorney will
language
take care of the
barrier.
problem.
The language.
Yeah.
You
The
pick him
language.
up to
That's how you,
finish his new
you're
will.
speaking the French.
The French.
Yes, quite.
Well, I'd sure like to talk to you more, Steve, but I gotta eavesdrop
Archaeology, it is
first.
such a masculine profession.
Oh.
Well, we gotta watch
Breaking
Carter
into the
hit on
ancient
Yvette.
tombs with your
Or
sledgehammer.
Yvette hit on Carter.
Thrusting your way into the treasure chambers, touching the gold artifacts. It is also stimulating, no?
Yes, well,
Subtle.
when you put it that way, I guess it is rather
Ah,
stimulating.
God,
being
this
the
cursor
most
is hiding my
important
huge boner.
archaeologist of all time.
And it is such a
You
burden
frickin'
to bear
hypocrite,
this
Carter.
greatness, no?
He's
Such
so tall.
passion to
He,
perform.
like,
You
it's...
must be perfect
Well, Yvette's
all the
also
time.
really tiny.
Yes, you have a unique
Laura's taller than
understanding
everybody,
of
though.
it.
Oh, I'm so glad I brought
your
my
problems,
soapbox
they're
to stand
obvious,
on.
Makes
Very
eavesdropping
kind
so
of you
much
to say
easier.
that, but there are many who misinterpret my actions. They don't understand the pressure of having famous relatives in the same line of work and having to compare oneself to them all the time.
Ooh, so is he saying that he's related
Ah,
to
but
Howard
such a
Carter?
uncommon friend. It is
Yep, that's the
nothing
implication
compared
here.
to your discovery, no?
Howard
Correct.
Carter was the
I
man
didn't
who found
realize you
King
knew so
Tut.
much
Yep.
about archaeology.
Yeah.
In case anyone
I know
wasn't
behind the scenes,
clear on
Dr.
that.
Carter.
I mentioned that in the first episode.
So I've
Excuse me.
heard.
I don't remember.
Maybe we should discuss archaeology.
Stealing my
sometime.
glory.
Yeah.
God.
I'd
Sorry
be
that
loved to
Shaw
hear
doesn't
about the work
contribute
you do,
anything
Dr.
to this
Carter.
stuff
I
by
know.
you guys.
I know.
Perhaps later
Oh, and I
tonight.
know how Pippin feels.
Will you be
Oh.
working?
It was all a metaphor.
Oh.
Thanks for playing.
Oh, God.
I
Oh.
think everyone will be here tonight, no? There is much to be done to prepare for the opening of your
They are
exhibit
planning
tomorrow.
sex.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
was
The
planning a
hanky-pankies.
break for tea around 3 a.m. if you'd like to join me.
It sounds wonderful.
I always have
Perhaps
3
you
a.m.
want to
tea.
come by my office then?
And by tea, I mean I
Be
go and sit in my
delighted.
bed with my pants off and
It is
see
so
what
gracious
happens.
of you to take the time to speak with me.
Usually nothing.
Yeah.
Think nothing of it.
How will I ever repay you for this courtesy? I know how busy you are, Dr. Carter.
I'm sure we'll think of something.
I feel like Yvette is a lot
call me
smarter than she
Pippin.
lets on.
Yeah.
She played him like a fiddle.
Oh, more
I told you to
conversations.
stop
Now they're
bothering me,
playing
you panel
sex.
driver.
Oh, goodness.
Dr. Carter, I will
Just
stop
kidding, they're
bothering
arguing
you
about
when
the dagger
dagger
again.
is safely
Yeah.
back in Cairo.
I don't
Yeah,
know
because we
if
saw
you've
these two
noticed,
bickering already
but the
once
bloody
before in the
dagger
first
has been
episode.
stolen from the bloody museum, you great twit.
I see no reason to exchange epithets with you, Dr.
Carter's
Carter.
voice actor
I am
is
aware of
just...
the burglary. I am also aware that no
He must
evidence
have
is
had so much fun.
and the dagger case was not harmed.
Every
But
word is just
I think
dripping
you
with
remove
disdain.
the dagger from the exhibit.
Even when he's trying to be
Me?
complimentary, too.
Me?
Yep.
And what bloody reason would I have to steal my own bloody dagger from my own bloody exhibit?
Bloody.
The dagger is not yours, Doctor. It belongs to the Egyptian people. As to why you stole it, I do not pretend to understand.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like if, I don't know, Belgium came into New York and just stole, I don't know,
I should ask
parking
why
meters?
you're shifting the blame onto me, you insignificant
No,
peasant.
I'm trying to
It would
say
be
that,
very
like, it would be like if
clever
you
of
went
you
and
to steal the
stole,
dagger, then
like,
stay
the
about to
library.
start rumors
It's not
about
yours.
someone else stealing it.
I did not understand what you were going
That's
for.
fine, it's probably not my best work there.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Oh, good, they got into
Did
a
not.
did two argument.
Oh, that's kind of great.
Did not.
You're fat. Well, you're mustached. You're also mustached. Oh, fuck.
Who asked you?
Don't interrupt
Mind
their
your
argument
own
with your
business, you
eavesdropping.
nosy reporter.
But
So they know she's a reporter, and like
I have
nobody
more
cares.
important
No.
She's
things to
listening.
do.
They're probably just like ho-hum. Maybe Crowdfaller
That's what
conducted
you
his
think,
business in the
you
exact same way.
malodorous
Oh,
buffoon.
good. She really is the worst reporter.
She's pretty bad.
Laura, how did you get all the information about this case? Well, I just hung out, standing about 2 feet from everybody, and I just listened, that's about it. Oh no, is that— oh no! No! You get away from him! No!
Well, we're gonna talk to Steve now, because this is pretty much the only time you get to run through the list.
Oh, get away from him,
I'm
you
afraid
bet.
I don't know the gentleman. I don't get out much.
That's gonna be a lot of his answers. Steve is not exactly a wealth of
The
information.
gentleman is a little too full of himself for my liking. I suppose he has reason to be, though, being a famous archaeologist and all.
Oh, Steve, you're so dreamy.
I don't know anyone that important, Miss Bow. Oh, wait. I saw him on the docks. He came in on the Andrea Doria. He had the biggest, heaviest trunk I've ever seen. You know, it smelled kind of funny, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonder why. Did it smell like a dead body? Oh.
Decent fellow, I think, but sometimes
There's all this blood around the edges is kind of weird, but, you know, whatever.
There's a corpse hanging out of it.
Yeah,
I just thought,
you know.
Yeah, these museum types.
Yeah, I figured it was one of the
Maybe you should
exhibits.
drink a glass of water.
No, it's because Crowdfather's name is...
Oh, god damn it.
Hopefully that's the last time we hear this joke. But I bet not.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting your father, Miss Bow.
Oh, you charmer.
Maybe one day. Wink, wink.
Do you want to get married?
Right now.
Oh, that dime store hoodlum used to lurk around the docks all the time. I haven't seen him in a long while.
Laura, I telegrammed your dad, and I already got permission to marry you. It's all good. We could go do this right now if you want.
Isn't she a charming lady? A little eccentric, but I think that's colorful, don't you?
Steve likes everyone. This is why I'm okay with the two of them getting together, because it's basically the two nicest, most unassuming, ineffectual
She's a
people in the
little
game.
Miss Bow. She makes me just a little nervous.
I really want Steve to start asking us how our year is.
It's
Well,
love at
sure.
first
A
sight.
man would have to be blind not to see that, right?
I think she wears a wig. She looks cheap.
Laura, you're so jealous.
I heard she's full of herpes.
You're big enough to take care of yourself.
Well, she's kind of pushy, if you know what I mean.
No,
Oh, what's
I'm
that? You
afraid
think
I
she's
don't.
pretty? Well, I
And
heard
I
that
don't
she's
think
full of
she's your
spiders.
type.
And if you have sex with
talk
her,
about
the
something
spiders
else?
come out and crawl all over you and
I
lay eggs in
suppose
your
so,
ears.
since this topic
So,
seems
you know,
to
I
make
mean,
you nervous.
that's the thing.
Well, that's one way to deal with jealousy.
Yeah.
He's an
Good
okay
job,
guy, I
Laura.
guess. He sure takes his job seriously.
Alright.
Yeah. No, Laura. Oh, there you go.
He's a studious gentleman, isn't he? I wish he'd been there to help me when I was taking trigonometry.
I don't know math. But I know lifting. And then he, like, picks up Laura and he's like, yep.
Why is he taking
Well,
trig
that's
if he's
me,
studying to be an artist?
Stevedorian student. Remember?
Aww.
Oh, he's so shy.
Remember me? I mean, I know I'm like...
really rich lady.
I'm so hunky. I mean, I can't... If I can't have Laura, I don't know if I will ever find a woman to love me. Oh.
Oh, he's that hot-tempered Egyptian fellow who was shouting at Dr. Carter.
That's right, we
on
finally
the
have the
docks.
ability to ask about
Seems
Dr.
nice
Ted.
enough now.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Carter just said something to set him off that day.
It was probably Dr. Carter just said, "You're fat." No, you! No, you!
To ask about our newspaper. No, newspaper.
Yeah,
do it,
so-
do it.
there you
Oh,
go.
we did it.
Oh, good
That's
job.
a fine paper, Miss Bo. I try to buy a copy for
Marry
my
me
mother
right
when
now,
I
Steve.
can.
I'm so ready for you. Oh, Steve.
I really admire the police. They put
course
their
you
lives
do.
on the line just to keep us safe.
You are the Wonder Bread of the cast.
He's kind of like the traditional Superman, where he's like just he is the Boy Scout,
do my own
can do
art.
no wrong.
Didn't have much to say on that one.
Yeah.
Because he does his
Now,
own.
working at the docks is just a temporary thing. I'm going to support my mother and myself as an artist someday, as soon as I graduate.
Good
with
luck
an
with
art
that,
degree.
Steve.
Yeah. Take it from someone who knows the art degree might not be this.
It's pretty great. Don't get me wrong, but
I've never seen so many wonderful things in one place before.
wow.
I really want to see Steve's paintings.
I know, right?
I hope they're hilariously inept. So Laura Bow is just
Oh,
like,
these are.
yeah,
Oh,
ooh, yeah. I'm about
I
these.
suppose so. Thought I've never lived
Nice to
anywhere
have
else, so I don't have
dreams.
much to
Yeah,
think about.
but I mean, realistically, how much did all those paints cost you? I mean, I'm just saying.
I know some folks like to, but
Kind
I never go. to
maybe,
places like
I mean, the
that.
money could, just be better spent. Now, journalism.
That's a high-paid and respectable position.
I worked really hard to get this job. And by that I mean my daddy got it for me.
I'm enjoying my sophomore year of
It ain't
college very
nepotism.
much.
You're attending college? What's your major?
Art.
Laura!
I hope
You
to be a
don't
famous
listen!
painter
God!
Wonderful, Mr.
I mean, we
Dorn.
could just say, oh, we hadn't asked that question yet, but it doesn't work because they had the conversation
Yeah.
outside.
Like, Steve, this is what you're gonna be getting involved with if you marry Laura, is someone who...
How many children do we have?
Mr. Dorn.
Honey, you're giving birth to two
I
of
think
them
it's
right now.
awful, Miss Bo, just
Oh my!
Who do you suppose
And then
could
she,
have
picks
done
up the
it?
babies and she's like, do you know
I had no
anything
idea
about
he was perpetrating
Egyptology?
such a terrible thing.
Is this
I
a
just
good
hope they
year
get
for
what's
you?
coming to them, that's all.
Answer me, baby!
Ah, Mr. Dorian.
The hormones aren't too kindly to
Do you
Laura
know
Bow.
much about Egyptology, Mr.
No,
Dorn?
Nora! No,
I'm
stop!
afraid I don't.
Again,
I wanted to
hopefully
take
the
a
last
class in
time
it
we
this
asked this
semester, but I
question.
couldn't quite manage it.
Probably not.
Steve, I think instead of being an artist, maybe you should be an Egyptologist so you can answer my questions. Like, what is it, Egyptology? I mean, I get the Egypt part, but what, etology? I don't even think that's a real word. Oh no!
Interested in the great art, no?
Poor
Then you
Steve.
should come with
Feels
me
so
this
bad for
evening.
him here.
I'll give you the
no.
personal tour of the
Get
old
away.
master's gallery.
She's a man eater.
I
I guarantee that you will not be wasting your time. You will enjoy it very much.
well,
You are studying the art at the university, no?
well, yes, but
Let me know
Then
if you
it
need
is
the new
settled.
model.
I will give us a private tour and a little home.
It's so creepy that Laura's just listening in
I-
on this. Yeah.
There is no need to thank me yet. I will be enjoying it as much as you will.
Well, gee willikers, I guess I have 2 wives now. Oh, where'd they go? No, Steve! Come back!
Alright, with that fantastic moment, we end off part 7.
Steve, no!
Shaw's gonna need some time here.
No! Laura needs you!
Bye. Bye, guys.
We listen in on a conversation between Yvette and Ryan O'Reilly. While hitting on O'Reilly, Yvette calls Carrington old and weak. O'Reilly speaks with Dr. Smith. The two discuss the theft of the dagger, with O'Reilly basically accusing Dr. Smith of being the one to steal the dagger. Dr. Smith repeats to O'Reilly his opinion that Carter should not have taken the dagger from Egypt, and that Amon-Ra will seek his vengeance on those who took the dagger. The Countess and Ramses talk about who they think stole the Dagger of Amon-Ra. The Countess thinks that a secret sect of sun worshippers came to steal the dagger. She later says that she's basing this off information given to her by a secret source that she's not disclosing. For the record, Ramses doesn't agree with the notion of a secret sect. We listen in on the Countess talking to Ziggy. Ziggy mentions a possible deal between himself and the Countess, but Laura doesn't get to hear any specifics regarding what they might be referring to. Ziggy talks to Yvette, seemingly only to remind her of her past as a prostitute at the speakeasy. Yvette and Carrington prattle on, transparently flirting with each other. O'Reilly and Ziggy briefly antagonize each other, and O'Reilly attempts to find out why Ziggy, of all people, is at the museum that night, but fails to do so. Yvette, Ramses, and Dr. Smith quietly talk about sex, and their various performances in bed. Laura is surprised by Steve Dorian, who came to the museum to see her again. The two of them head outside, where Steve explains to Laura that he's not just a common stevedore, he's an artistic stevedore. He confesses to Laura that he's got a bit of a crush on her, and that he's currently going to art school. He's a sculptor and a painter, and he asks Laura out on a date. Laura and Steve get a little smoochy under the moonlight, before heading back into the party. Yvette, Dr. Miklos, and the Countess talk about the Countess's previous husband. Yvette points out that the Countess was only married to him for 2 months, and we later find out that they had only known each other for a month prior to that. They talk about how the Countess inherited his large fortune, but it's also noted that her previous husband was in the midst of changing his will when he died. Yvette and Pip and Carter speak, with Yvette flirting with Carter a bit. Carter takes the time to brag and reveals that he's in a bit of a competition with his more famous relative, who turns out to be Howard Carter, the discoverer of King Tut's tomb. In this conversation, it's basically suggested that it's his attempts to outshine Howard that causes Carter to be such a glory hound. The conversation ends with Yvette setting up an early morning rendezvous with Carter. Carter and Dr. Smith argue some more about the dagger, and about how Dr. Smith wants it returned to Egypt. Dr. Smith accuses Carter of stealing the dagger to keep it for his own personal collection, and Carter in return accuses Dr. Smith of being the one to steal the dagger. Laura briefly talks one-on-one with Steve. Steve thinks that Carter is full of himself, that the trunk that Carrington asked him to move smelled weird, and that Yvette is pushy. Steve also reveals to Laura that he saw Carter and Dr. Smith argue on the docks in the beginning of the game, which we previously saw, But Laura was not privy to this event, so this is new information for her. Yvette talks with Steve, flirting with him and trying to arrange a date with him. The entire conversation is basically Yvette flirting with him and Steve nervously stammering out a 2-word reply in response. Needless to say, Laura isn't pleased.